You know what I mean? Because some corporate had to give himself a bonus check at the end of the year. What if we made it worse, but made it look the same?
Yeah.
Then could our pools be bigger?
Not
Free Luigi.
Shout out to my girl, Rita. We got lefties losing it. Bill Burr is apparently backtracking.
What are you going to bring up next? The Middle East? I went to summer school 3 out of 4 years in high school. I'm not qualified to talk about this.
That's right. Bill Burr, the same one that was shouting out free Luigi. He's backtracking now. Now he doesn't want to make any more controversial statements, apparently. But let's take a look at it, and I'd love to get your thoughts.
Now, let's talk about Bill Burr, the once funny Bill Burr who has gone from being hilarious to being a hysteric and is now backing away from his newly acquired lefty views. It was only a couple of weeks ago where he was railing against corporates and saying to a free murderer, Luigi Mangione.
You know what I mean? Because some corporate had to give himself a bonus check at the end of the year. What if we made it worse, but made it look the same?
Yeah.
Then could our pools be bigger?
Not
Free Luigi.
But showing all the courage and consistency of a typical celebrity, Burr is now backing away from that sort of position. Despite going on The View and railing against Donald Trump and Elon Musk, he now says he's not political.
No, I'm not going to just have some controversial moment so you can get clicks. I'm not doing that. I mean, I'm here for Conan. I'm not doing all of this. What are you going to bring up next? The Middle East? I went to summer school 3 out of 4 years in high school. I'm not qualified to talk about this.
I was just
What do you think about global warming?
You said about Elon that he was ruining Earth, I saw on The View. You're critical of him. What do you think of all the boycotts, like even the violence?
I don't watch the news.
Tesla?
I don't watch the news. I have no idea what's going on. I watch Instagram. I watch people wipe out on motorcycles. I watch lions and hyenas fight each other. This is the things that I do. And I don't think you should be asking a comedian.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't know anything about politics. He's not political, but he chose to go on The View and rail against the Trump agenda. Well done.
Ew. Sorry to interrupt the video. We got a new challenge. 20,000 by the end of April. We fell short in March, but we're going to get our goal this month. Thank you all in advance for those that are going to continue to like, subscribe, maybe even leave some comments and let us know how we're doing. And on that note, let me let y'all get back to the video and I'll see y'all soon. Ew. Bill Burr. Now, I don't know who got in his ear. I don't know, well, who was in his ear in the beginning. How do you go from, and this speaks volumes to how radicalized our society has become. And I would blame a lot of the leaders that influence us because they benefit from us hating each other. They benefit when we're fighting each other. It's the Democrats versus conservatives, Democrats versus Republicans, liberals versus conservatives. They try to create a war. They try to get us to hate each other because it benefits the people in power. It allows them to get more power. It allows us to, or it forces us to depend on them as more. Now Bill Burr is coming out probably saying what he should have said in the beginning. I'm not informed enough to speak on these things. And if you do feel like speaking on these things, then speak on them. But when we are, this is not even really about Bill Burr. Bill Burr is just an example of somebody getting caught up in society with this pendulum swing, right? It goes from one extreme to the other. So it's like, okay, healthcare is terrible. Insurance companies are terrible. They're preying on people. They're preying on injured people. They're preying on old people. They're preying on people and benefiting and profiting from people being in very vulnerable positions. Perhaps their most vulnerable positions in life. That's when you need insurance companies, right? When you're injured, when you have some sort of condition and you need to now tap into that insurance that you've been paying for so long. And now they can determine whether or not they're going to actually pay for whatever it is that you're asking them to pay for. So we hate the insurance companies so much that we swing the pendulum the entire opposite way, right, as far as possible, to where we're justifying and yelling free Luigi about somebody that decided to kill a healthcare or insurance CEO, United Healthcare Insurance CEO. If this doesn't show how manipulated we can become with emotions, and how much these mainstream news media outlets, the politicians, how much they intentionally want to trigger us emotionally, then I don't know what we'll say. I mean, what are your thoughts on it? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Regardless of how you feel about the healthcare industry, regardless of how you feel about insurance companies, I'm in the healthcare industry. I use this platform to call out a lot of the BS that I see in the healthcare industry. I can't stand the healthcare industry, but I'm never going to get to a point where I become so emotional to where I'm moving without logic, and put logic to the side, where I'm moving without principles, morals, and values, overall integrity, to the point where I'm now going to be screaming out, free Luigi, somebody who killed somebody in cold blood and shot them in the back at that. We're getting to the point now where we're justifying these type of things. Our outrage on this end is causing us to apply the same things that we hate on this other end. So we become the very things that we hate. It's like, oh, the insurance companies, their policies are killing people or allowing people to die. So then we become so mad about that we justify the CEO of their company being killed. This happens with Donald Trump. This happens with Joe Biden. This happens on both sides. Our society, maybe now more than ever, is on the brink of a civil war, of a race war, with this Austin Metcalf situation with Carmelo Anthony, not to pivot, but it seems as if there's people on both sides that are trying to stoke a fire, where people who are trying to lead and mislead people, I would argue, in a lot of ways, they know that the easiest way for them to get people to follow them is not through making sense, is not through spitting some logic to somebody. It's, how can I get this person upset? How can I get this person to the point where they're not using their emotional intelligence, where they're so triggered with emotions that we're tapping into their personal experiences, right? We're using, well, you've never been in this situation, so now we're going to use that to tap into your emotions, to trigger you emotionally, to get you to the point where you'll now relate more to somebody who decided to kill somebody in cold blood. You'll relate to them so much. Somebody that I hope that Bill Burr's principles, morals, and values would never align with him being okay with Luigi's actions. But society and the politicians and a lot of the people in power, the influencers, the mainstream news media outlet, they've convinced us that somehow we should relate to Luigi as a hero. Now, we've seen this happen before. We've seen this play out before. Some people would argue that we saw it play out when it came to the George Floyd situation. My ask to all of y'all that are watching this video is to please be careful and be very intentional when it comes to what we decide and how we decide our emotions to be used for other people's best interest at the detriment of us and the people, the common folk. So that's my take on it. We may touch on it a little bit more on the live show tomorrow, but just wanted to leave that for y'all, or I should say, depending on when this video comes out, the live show on Friday. But just wanted to give my initial reactions to hearing something like that. How do y'all feel about Bill Burr? Is it good that he decided to backpedal? Do y'all respect it? Or do you think that somebody got in his ear and he was forced to do so? Or does it not even matter? Or does it even matter? Is it just good that he got to this point? Or is it good that, I mean, maybe y'all think that it's bad and he should be expressing himself. My only thing is that we have to, or I would suggest that we prioritize and always lead with our principles, morals, and values rather than our emotion. Because when we lead with our emotion, that's when the hatred, and that's when everything else goes out the window. All the things that we were brought up on, all the things that are common sense, the golden rule, treating others how we want to be treated. We push all those things to the side because we've been so emotionally triggered, and it's playing out in various areas of our lives. And the only people that it benefits are the people in power rather than the common folk that the people in power are supposedly trying to serve. So on that note, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.